It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
Sunday morning, time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive radio experience. I'm Nick Miles, and you're listening to America's Automotive Radio Show. Test Miles, locally created, nationally celebrated. This morning's team includes misfits, rapscallions, and ne'er-do-wells. A packed show this morning. We're going to be talking about the vehicles that we have been driving here at Team Test Miles. Also coming up, we are going to do some, look at some all-wheel drive vehicles. I've decided I need an all-wheel drive sedan for the winter, and I'm leaning towards the Chrysler 300C. So we're going to beat up one of the Chrysler engineers and find out why I should be buying one of those. There is a new motorsports park in the Northwest. It is up in Washington. We're going to find out all about that, what sort of turns it has, how it got built, how you can use it, how you can learn from it. And Jeff Zershmi is going to be here to talk about the cars of Cuba. The country has opened up to the West, but the citizens and the cars are frozen in time. Jeff's going to tell us. Jeff's from the Oregonian, by the way, if you don't remember that. Jeff's going to tell us about his trip to Cuba to check them out, and we'll hear more about that later on in the show. So what have we been driving this week? Well, the team took some vehicles from the Test Miles garage. I actually had the Hyundai Tucson. My mom owns a Tucson from a bunch of years ago, and she's very happy with it, but she got a two-wheel drive, and they live up on Mount Scott. So they probably should have a four-wheel drive since when it snows at Mount Scott. It's interesting, if you're on the top of Mount Scott, which is sort of between, it's sort of Happy Valley, the bottom left-hand corner of Happy Valley, or the right-hand corner of Happy Valley. If you live up there, you can drive down off of the hill and you can see the demarcation line where the temperature changes. So they can have a foot of snow and it can be sunny down in the valley, or they can have rain and we don't have rain.
It's called Happy Valley.
Yes.
And Mount Scott.
Yes.
So the mountain will be higher.
I wonder if the valleys actually... I do know that there's some interesting things about Happy Valley. We'll throw this in. It's not car-related, but Happy Valley was started in 1965, and there are more psychiatrists in Happy Valley than any other city in the United States.
Prescription drugs, thus Happy Valley.
Better living through chemistry. The Tucson is a 5-door crossover, peppy and fuel-efficient turbocharged engine, a 1.6, adult-friendly back seat, and advanced safety systems, infotainment system, and refined ride. Much nicer than they've had this car in the past. I do feel one thing about the engine, a little lackluster. Even though it has a turbo, the 1.6, I need something bigger than that. Certain trim levels are very desirable over the others, limited, and also 2.4-litre four-cylinder. I had the 1.6-litre turbo. Up to 175 horsepower, 6-speed automatic, 7-speed dual clutch. Front wheel or all-wheel drive, 29 miles a gallon is the combined, 2633. I think they put these smaller engines in it because of the fuel economy. 29 miles a gallon combined and 33 top is pretty amazing for a small SUV. What else can I tell you about it? It's competition: Ford Escape, Honda CR-V, RAV4. The Jeep was probably going to be the Renegade. No, the
Cherokee.
The Cherokee is the competition. Equinox, Terrain, Rogue, Forester, Outlander, Sport are the competitions. Comes in 4 different trim levels, $23,595. Not a bad starting price. Although I'm starting to learn now, nobody ever buys a starting price car. I actually got in one the other day and was like, "Where's the floor?" It's kind of
Fred Flintstone style.
It was one of those. I'm just kidding, by the way. If you think I'm serious, Nissan Maxima was the car. I'll tell you, I went on the ride and drive of this car. Did not get a full appreciation of the Maxima. Boy, do I have appreciation now. Spent a week in this vehicle. I would buy this car. The only thing I don't like about it, the one I'm driving, the trim level is $40,000. But apart from that, it's in the inside, this sort of diamond stitching.
Great seats,
padding,
too.
Yeah. The NASA zero-gravity seats. The door trim has this sort of diamond flexing. I mean, it's really beautiful. Sporty drive, very quiet and upscale interior. Plenty of features for the money. Back seat is a little bit tight. Consider mid-car size and lots of different trim levels. 3.5-litre V6, 300 horsepower CVT, which, by the way, Nissan have got the CVT down. Front-wheel drive, 30 miles a gallon is the best we can get out of this. What does it go up against? It goes up against the Malibu, the Impala, the Taurus, the Charger, the Avalon, the Azera. Most of the big, it doesn't feel as big as those, though. It feels maybe mid-size sedan. A bunch of trim levels, $33,235 for that car. Sean, what have you been driving?
Like you, I was driving another entry-level car. I was driving the Honda Accord Sport, and I actually love this car, and the only problem with it is driving the other Accords before driving this one, because you get so spoiled with all the technology that the other cars offer and the comfortability that they have, that this one's just, it's hard knowing that stuff's out there and you have to get into this one. Right. But it's a fantastic vehicle for starting price $24,100. It's a great little car. Fuel economy is 27.37 on the highway. Has a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder VTEC engine. And like I said, the only bad about this car is knowing that the Accords out there are better. And I just want, like, the Honda Lane Watch and some of the other systems that they offer that this one doesn't.
It's the trouble, we get spoiled with these really nice cars. You get a stripped down version, you're like, who would buy this? I mean, even a car without navigation, I'm like, why would you? But most people don't want navigation because they can use it off their cell phone.
Exactly. And I mean, and that's kind of the biggest problem. But if you didn't drive that and you got into this car, you would love it. Competitors are Chevy Malibu, Toyota Camry, Nissan Altima. And I actually enjoyed just driving this vehicle for a week. It was relaxing. It did its purpose. It was a great drive, fun to drive. It's not, a screamer around corners or anything, but you could still have fun with the car, and it's very comfortable to get in and out of. And for a great price, $25,000, I'd take it.
All right, cool.
Especially considering what else can you get for $25,000 out there anymore.
You're absolutely right, Brad.
Well, I'll tell you what you can get for $25,000.
A bicycle.
And this is a perfect dichotomy here. So you can get that base model Accord, bigger car, or you can get the Kia Forte Coupe.
Which I do love, by the way.
Phenomenal car, beautiful, redesigned in 2014, but the fully loaded Coupe with a K, by the way, is $26,000. But it has all the buzzers and bells and all those things you want. And it comes in 3 trim levels. There is the sedan, the 4-door hatchback, what they call the Forte 5. And then this Coupe, beautiful, redesigned, not a whole lot of changes for this year. The downside to this vehicle, and you talked about your Tucson getting 29 MPG.
29 combined, yeah. 33.
Yeah, this gets 28.
Right.
So that's kind of, this smaller entry-level kind of coupe and sedan should probably get a little better mileage. But that's about the only downsides that I can get for this vehicle.
A little bit tough.
So the EX starts at about 18.9, and then you work your way up to the SX. So this fully loaded is 26.
Right.
But Kia does a really good job, though, on those entry-level cars. They have a lot of things that are standard on the vehicles.
I like the idea you can go to a Kia dealership and you don't have 300 boxes to check before you get the car you want. It's usually just 2 or 3 options, and you can get the car you want. So they don't option them out and then increase the price by $10,000.
Absolutely. Tough competition in this segment, obviously, with the Corolla, the Civic, the Impreza, the Mazda 3.
Yeah. All
real tough competitions. None of them really do everything perfectly, so you pick and choose what you like. If you want styling and a real comfortable interior for a coupe, I fit in very well in that vehicle. So I was really impressed.
I do like it. It's going to be built in Mexico, by the way, next year. They're building a factory right there, and they're saying, the word on the street is they deny this, but I got the inside information. They're going to have an STI competitor out of that car. So they're going up against
I could see that.
Yeah, it's the perfect car to do it, and I think they green-lighted it. So they denied it, but I got the inside scoop. They didn't want me to know because I was going to tell you a lot, and then there'd be trouble.
But they said don't tell anybody.
No, too late. You're listening to Test Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Coming up, we're going to talk about all-wheel drive systems. You really need an all-wheel drive system if you live in Portland. We'll find out that, and we're also going to find out about this new racetrack in Washington. And, of course, the cars of Cuba. Jeff Searchman going to be here from the Oregonian telling us about what's happening in Cuba. Are these cars as special as we thought? Are they worth a lot of money? Are they held in time? Are they frozen? It's Test Miles, FM News 101 KXL. I'm Nick Miles.